Oh, this is seeing the road from the hill at its worst, believe me. It is, as Beth would say, it's very slippy and slidey. But anyway, I had to come back because I wanted to get my mountain bike, which my friend Ricky is going to sell for me. It's actually brand new. I've actually never ridden it, because once I bought that, it started raining, as it's been doing now, and it never stopped. And when it did stop, I'd already been talking to my friend Ricky, and he got me a very nice road bike, so there was no need for me to be doing the mountain bike. I'm not going to do the mountain bike on this road, and you'll quickly see why. After you get to about 65, you brake easier, so I'm realistic to that degree. But the rain has been relentless. It's without mercy. It just keeps coming, and the road now is probably worse than I've ever seen it in the past. It really is very difficult. I'm on four-wheel drive, of course, and I wouldn't make it out if I wasn't. So this particular part is the part that we built, but of course everything on a budget, and we built it as best we could by hacking this part out of the hillside that you see on the right. And the problem is, unless it's compacted, unless it has what they call base surface put on it and then rollered, it's not going to last. And of course we've had this done several times now, got the grader in, but the last time it didn't seem to really help a lot. In fact, if anything, it made it worse. So the first 90 meters is our road, and then we join the Barangay Road, which isn't a whole lot better. They've been dropping truckloads of gravel down on the Barangay Road. They just keep dropping these, what they call stockpiles here. So they stockpile stuff, and then at a later point, so much for the plans of mice and men, it just gets lost. So we're still not out. We're still not out of the mud, and we won't be out of it until we get down to the main road. So we're moving out gradually. For those of you who have been following our videos, we're moving out, and we are in essence we are caretaking on American John's house, which is a beautiful house but far from finished, and so we're overseeing work as it goes on. And at the moment we're actually working on the kitchen, and if we can have a kitchen, then we will be feeling very, very good. I'm trying to stop something rattling in the back because I think I've done it. I brought an electric stove. We really want to leave the house pristine for John, just in case he does come. He seems very undecided at times. He has some health issues, and of course anybody with health issues that I talk to, and I communicate to a lot of people about their in the various stages of moving out to the Philippines, from saying that it's going to be 2 years or 5 years or whatever. There's a man that's having a real struggle driving along on this road, and you'll see why soon. It looks bad even as I'm looking at it now in the camera. I have the camera on a frame, on a holder, under the rear view mirror, so that you can see what I'm seeing. All of this, as I said, is the Barangay Road, and it's the most peculiar thing because at one and the same time it can be easy. If it's dry, it's easy, but if it's not, boy, you can't take it for granted, and it quickly deteriorates into great pools of water underneath, which are great pools of mud. If you look at this one coming up now, this is not normally that bad, and yet we're swimming in it here. And of course, if you're walking, this really is a nightmare. Just in case there's somebody else coming around the corner. So while we work on John's house, we have other work there which we are sort of dovetailing in with our crew, so that they are always gainfully employed. It's an issue with us. We've had our, what I always call our Superman team. We've had our Superman team now for quite a few years. There have been some changes, but in the main, sorry, tendency is to slide into this ditch, and I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want to damage our truck. You know, when you see these wild guys and they're charging along. Now there's an interesting one. Why does the cow cross the road? I don't know. There's a pig over there on the left. Anyway, so we try to keep our guys employed because they all have families, and that's and our job means food on the table for those families. So we take this very seriously. It usually works out pretty good because we've had the financing from the foundation in America, which and this is just one way that the situation where the stock exchange and stocks and bonds and investments start to tank, then they take a lot of things with them. In fact, they take bread and butter from the table of ordinary people, which is where I count us. So if the foundation that we are with doesn't make money on its investments, if it doesn't make interest, it has no money to pay us our grant. So that's our situation at the moment, is that we are in limbo unless, sorry, I'm going to brake every now and then because there's something to be attended to on the road. So unless things improve, and then we will be better off. And that annoying noise has come back again, and I don't know what it is. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see if that did it. If it didn't, well, just have to deal with it. See, we've been stuck in almost every part of this road one way or another, and we've towed a couple of people out, people who are venturing up this road or down this road without four-wheel drive. And if it's like this, you know, you're just not going to make it. Someone said to me today, your truck needs washing, and so it does. As a matter of fact, I washed it yesterday, and already it looks in a state. But then with a road like this, that's what you've got to expect. So we're hoping, we're planning, we're praying that we will be able to sustain our work on our 5-year project. American John obviously finances the work on his own house, and we're now at the stage where we're buying appliances, so putting a television, putting a kitchen. Now kitchens have become incredibly expensive since ever I had any thought of doing a kitchen. The kitchen in the little office that we have, there's a little porch, what used to be a porch, and I converted it with Rado's help. Rado did the shell, made it weatherproof, put the windows in, and I did the actual kitchen worktop, the countertop, as you might call it in America. So that's been done, and then we got to the point where we'd have to move into American John's house, because we cannot leave it empty, because now, as I say, we're putting in the appliances, and the chances are that it might become a target for being robbed. That was the motive, that was what made it necessary to move in. I'm very happy to not have to do this road anymore. Doing this road once or twice every day was really wearing on me and on the truck, so I'm very happy not to have to do this. It's very picturesque, very beautiful when it's dry, but I wasn't able to use my sports bike, the Yamaha, on this kind of road. It's not designed for that. So I have my motorcycle is now stored at the site where American John's house is, and where we normally keep, it's in the shed where we normally keep materials. We made a little shed off it so that it was just for my bike, a little tiny thing. Managed to get the bike in there, and some of the extra materials that we're buying, all kinds of light fittings and fans and LED tube lights which we've had in the ceiling. We've got a tray ceilings almost throughout, so all of that has to be done. Tiles, all the tiling around the back has to have been done. So we have to be there. Plus, human nature being what it is, I think that possibly everybody works a little bit harder when we're there, because we're on site, we're walking around, we're seeing everything that goes on. I can remember in the time, the few times that I've had a job, a job, as my friend used to call it, I could work like a dog for 2 or 3 hours straight, and the moment that I sat down for a breather, the boss would come in. And so I know how that is, and Beth and I are both a little bit tolerant on that. Plus, we do feel that our guys have done a tremendous job. John's house is really beautiful. there's detail work that would have been better, but in the main we are so very happy and proud of what they've done, and we're looking forward to being able to move in with much greater focus on our 5-year dream project. Right, so I'm at the road now, as you probably realized, and so I'm going to sign off, as they say, and thanks for being with me on this terrible road.